Hi, today we'll be covering how to wait for user messages. In the last video, we covered how to set up a Discord bot and added a few simple commands, so if you haven't seen that yet, check it out in the description. By now, you should have a Discord bot account and code that you can run to make the bot log on. Here you can see that we have some commands like greeting, where the bot responds with hello. So sometimes your commands might be more customizable, where the behavior of the command can be changed based on user input. For example, if I want the bot to respond with the appropriate greeting based on the time of day, I can ask the user for a second message within this command to specify the time of day. So I'll add a prompt, await context.send, what time of day is it? And now we can actually wait for a response and alter the rest of the code that will run based on the user response. The syntax for this is await client.wait for message check equals none, timeout equals none. So client.wait for has one required parameter and two optional ones. The first required parameter is the event that the bot should wait for, so in this case it's a message being sent. We don't have to worry about this too much right now, but we'll see later that this wait for can also be used to wait for other events like reactions being added. Check takes a predicate, which is a function that returns a Boolean value true or false, and it allows us to filter through messages until something matches the criteria. And for this command greeting, I want the message to be from the original user who sent the greeting, and I want it to be in the same channel that the command was sent in. So I can make a command pred, which takes a message object and return true only if the author of the message is equal to the author of the original message, and the author and the channel of the message is the same as the original channel. And to use it, I can just put pred as check. So now client.waitFor will ignore all the messages except for the ones that are from the original author and in the original channel. I'll leave timeout as none for now, but we'll come back to it later. So client.waitFor returns a message object, so if I assign it to a variable message, we can further evaluate this in our code. So since we want the bot to give the appropriate greeting, I can add some if statements to check what the user said using message.content. So message.content gives us the content of the message. So for example, if message.content equals morning, then respond with bright and early, good morning, with a sun emoji. So this if statement checks that the user responded with morning, and if the user did respond with morning, then we give the appropriate greeting. So I can add a few more if statements here. And I'll add one for evening too. And I'll make the bot say, getting kind of dark. And I can even add a fourth option, like a catch-all for if the user doesn't respond with any of the valid options. I could say I'm not sure what time it is, so I'll just say hi. So we can test this out if we run the bot. Okay, so I ran the bot, you can see that it's online, and now I'm going to test out the greeting function. So as you can see, the bot still responds with hello, but this time it asks us what time of day is it, So I'm gonna say morning. And it turns out that the sun emoji isn't actually called sun, but we can fix that later. So I'm gonna test it again. This time it's gonna be afternoon. And then I'll test it one more time, but this time I'll give it an invalid option, so I'm gonna say midnight. And you can see the bot still responds with the greeting that we programmed it with. So by using client.waitFor, we were able to customize the command more, and this helps because sometimes you have a command that maybe has multiple abilities, but you want to group them all together. So for this one, it was just sending out a greeting, so we kind of grouped it together, but it could still have different behavior based on user input. So earlier we saw that client.waitFor had an optional argument timeout. So if I use and greeting, and I don't provide a second message, the bot will continue to wait since we didn't specify a timeout value. So this is generally bad practice since the bot could end up waiting for hundreds of messages if the commands are never resolved. So going back to the code, we can specify a timeout in seconds. So this could be a float like 11.5, or it could be just like 10 seconds. And usually I like to give the user between 10 and 15 seconds because that's usually enough time for them to respond. So when this timeout value is reached, the code will give you a syncio.timeout error if there's no response, and that will halt the execution of this command. Usually you want to catch this error and tell the user that they ran out of time, and we can do this with a try and accept. So first, we try to wait for the message, and if there's no response, there'll be an error, so we say except for a syncio.timeout error. And then if the command times out, we can tell the user you did not respond in time. Goodbye. Otherwise, if they did respond, we can run the rest of the code. So this else makes it so that if there really is an error, then the command will return after sending you did not respond in time. So that's all for today. Check the description for links and the sample code. In the next video, we'll cover how to send embeds and make your bot messages look more professional. Thanks for watching and good luck with your coding!